Only 40 minutes drive from the airport at Port Elizabeth in South Africa lies this unique game reserve. It comprises an enclosed area of 18,000 hectares of land, and the dream has been to repopulate it with a variety of wildlife which once lived here before the farmers took control. 18 antelope species have been reintroduced to Shamwari, which has been developed over the past 7 years by the gradual consolidation of a number of farms purchased in the area. Historical records show that the Eastern Cape was, at one time, one of the richest wildlife zones in Africa. Now, the scientifically monitored introduction of species ensures that even the most sensitive plant varieties are kept healthily reproductive by large herbivores like the elephant, as well as browsers and grazers like the zebra. When the river flooded, there was new cause for concern. It seems that a hippo somehow submerged on the reserve side and migrated to emerge in the river through the farm. But these are small teething problems. Bigger tests are on the way. Late last year, 2 prides of lions were translocated from Pilanesberg and Milwaukee Game Reserve up in the north, and they were found to be free of diseases like tuberculosis and feline AIDS. The lions have a strong genetic base, according to Dr. Johan Joubert, Shamwari's wildlife manager. They originated from different prides in Namibia. Anaesthetised, they were carefully flown to their new home, and this was one flight where the crew were content to let their passengers sleep without feeding them airborne snacks. Actress Virginia McKenna pinches off lions she rescues from horrific conditions in European zoos. Her born-free role has made her passionate about wildlife.
I think the idea of creating a natural balance in a wild area by introducing predators has a very positive future, I think, I hope. Of course, one has to balance it very carefully also with the amount of prey there is, prey species. But I think the expertise of the people at Shamwari will be quite sufficient to monitor this very carefully, and it could be a format for the future.
Here, the convergence of 5 ecosystems, from coastal and temperate forest to Cape Fynbos and savanna, provides ideal conditions for an experiment in reintroducing a diversity of animals and bird life unequalled in South Africa. Sightings of the big game species are virtually assured, like these white rhino. This 2-ton mother and her miniature offspring is something of a rarity in Africa these days. But the final element in completing the ecosystem is the imminent release of the lions.
Theoretically, what I believe is going to happen is that the one female will come out almost immediately. Okay? The second one will probably be encouraged by her, but will probably be a bit more hesitant. And if the male comes out, I think it's a bonus.
But nothing is entirely predictable when it comes to lions. The rangers are ready to open the gate to the enclosure where the big cats have been penned during their period of acclimatization. The fear is that they will sense the presence of so many observers. They become accustomed to room service in their pen, but this time dinner will be left outside the door in an effort to lure them out. Then it's a matter of watching and waiting, but the lions are in no hurry to go anywhere. They've learned to stay away from electric fences, but Johan Joubert knows that the freshly slaughtered antelope will eventually tempt the dominant female out. It's the new star's first photo opportunity. And her dignified display of power is a reminder that this is indeed a queen of the jungle. While in the enclosure, the lions were fed on natural prey like kiddo and impala, and the feeding process was designed to ensure that there was no association between food and their human captors. And to make sure the lions didn't become accustomed to humans on foot, only people in vehicles came near their enclosure. But while the lions tentatively lost their freedom, Dr. Joubert has to organise yet another release. He's been looking after another guest, in this cage set far away in the canyons, and Johan believes that it's time to find out if he's ready to leave. This crowned eagle was found poisoned and sent to Dr. Joubert to see if he could help. Now it's been carefully nursed back to health, and its use of its lethal beak seems unimpaired.
What are you doing? At the moment, this one physically, he look fine to me.
There's a dawning sense of freedom and a brief experiment with flight. And the next ascent takes him away from the cage. Then with the wind in his wings, he's away. There are no fences up here, and he's free to establish a life wherever he chooses. Meanwhile, the lions are settling right in. And the magnificent cheetahs are thriving as well. A radio transmitter implanted in the abdomen allows the Shamwari experts to locate them wherever they roam in the variety of topography of the reserve. So far, the balance of nature's intact, and the sheer health and physical exuberance of these newcomers to the Garden of Eden seems to promise that this new act of creation is working.